corner you really want to take some caution into, really work out your line, best places to avoid any big chunky rocks.
This was Bruise Bend, I think. Look at it now.
You're still going to have to put up with big rocks, loads of gravel, loads of screw on the floor.
That's quite hard packed, like tarmac, isn't it?
Yeah. Before and after.
It was all going to hinge on the weather on the day.
So we spent the day driving up and it was beautiful and sunny yesterday. Now it's wet.
But it's Scotland. I watched Race for the Rail in August and I thought, this is really cool. This one wheel racing, this is a whole different level and it looked pretty crazy compared to what we were doing. But I thought, well, that'd be really cool to do a race, have a go at it. So I started looking around to find a race in the UK. There wasn't one. It's a bit odd. So I inquired on a couple of the Facebook groups here for the UK and said, why don't we do one wheel racing? Where can I get a race? So the guy who came back to me about why we don't have events was Max Kramer. Max is one of the admins and pretty much runs the UK Floaters Facebook group. And he kind of heads up the London crew and organises group rides and does bits and pieces down there. So Max said, yeah, we've tried, we can't find a venue, we can't really find anybody who run events. So I said, well, okay, I think I can do it. I said to Max, well, if we do this, do you want to be involved? And he said, absolutely. So we had a quick discussion about where we could run this event. And we looked at it and we decided in Scotland. And there are some big names in the UK who really, really stood out. And one was Chantal, and Shan had reached out to a few of the Scottish riders on the Instagram and said, well, you know, anybody want to go for a ride? And I said, well, I'm East Coast, I'm Aberdeen, and we had a bit of a chat. We got a few of us together and we went for a ride down the East Coast. So during that ride, I pitched the idea to Chan of, I'm thinking about doing an event, a race, a festival, something along those lines in Scotland. Would you be interested in being involved? So we had Max on board. He's our street style rider. He pretty much heads up the UK community. We've got Chantel, who can look after all our social media, has a great following there. And then I came across a girl called Nadine. Nadine is Chan's one-wheel sister, best friends, they ride together. The other thing about Nadine is she's a designer. So we needed a logo, we needed some design work, we needed all this stuff for our website, for all our social media feeds, for all our t-shirts, our designs. We had to have that design and that logo, and that's exactly where Nadine came in. A friend and colleague of mine, Michael, is really into photography, videography. He does all our video edits, he does this film and lots of other bits and pieces. So first time I took Michael for a short trail ride after he'd had his board for a few weeks. It didn't go so well. He was quite loaded up with camera kit because he wanted to document everything. And he got a bit of a wobble. And from that point onwards, Michael decided he wanted to be behind the camera in this project. So there we are in January. We've got a core team of 5 of us, myself, Michael, Nadine, Chan and Max. We've got a potential venue and we've got 18 months to make it work. So Glencoe seem to have everything set up. They've got a brand new cafe bar building, they've got accommodation on site, but actually what they've really got is this incredibly beautiful, stunning Scottish Highland landscape. You're in the mountains, a long way from anywhere, and everywhere you look in all directions is nothing but mountains and scenery. So at the end of May 2022, about 13 months in advance of the event, we all drove to Glencoe from various parts of the country and threw ourselves down a mountain on a one-wheel. The terrain itself was very much a trail. It was rideable, but it was rideable as a chunky trail which would be slower than I anticipated and quite challenging in places. Quite simply, if you went full send down it, you'd hit a big rock and you'd be coming off the board. But that added that element of technical riding which we really wanted in the course. James Pitcher, friend of mine, snow sports coach.
I am the Highlander, there can be only one.
Head of snow sports at Glencoe. He's now got the first opportunity to ride a one-wheel when the team's there in May. James jumps on board, so I think a day or two later James has a one-wheel and he naturally becomes the 6th member of the team as our local man on site in Glencoe, able to recce all the good social rides in the area and our liaison with the mountain. So that first time standing at the top of the plateau chair, the views just took our breath away. We realised it's very different looking to when we're up there for snow sports in winter. And It looked pretty gnarly, but it certainly looked rideable. So we got to January 2023 with 6 months to go. And originally we had thought we'd maybe get 30, 40 people. That was the conversation we actually had the previous May up in Glencoe. Maybe 30 people, including ourselves, for the inaugural event. However, come January, we've sold 50, 60 tickets. And probably 40% of those tickets are people who don't live in the UK. So we've been in touch with Ben at the Float Life Europe. And Ben said to me, he says, can we come? I said, yeah, of course you can come. He goes, no, can we come, and can we bring a van, and can we have a stand? Can we sell stuff? And I said, absolutely.
So this is the first year that we've moved to every event. So last year we were just a sponsor for Float Italia and Belgium, but now we're moving to each of them. So Italia, Switzerland, Scotland, Belgium, and then Portugal. For the first season of the EOL.
Yeah.
So back at the end of 2022, I'd had some conversations with Fabio Costa, who runs the One Wheel Algarve Tour, and there was a bit going on in Europe. There's the guys at Float Italia who had run 2 smallish events, but one was still at that point the biggest in Europe, in Gattinara. There's the guys at the Swiss One Wheel Club who had run one race and they were going to do something else. And they'd been Float Line Fest in Belgium. We decided to get together as a group and maybe look at having some sort of European league, because it happens in America. So we figured, well, you know, we're now getting these events in Europe. We can do the same thing and just start and mould it and shape it how we wanted to. One of the things we had looked at as well was the Race for the Rail World Championships. In our view, it wasn't really a World Championships because you had to qualify in America. So some conversations were had back and forth with ORL and Jacopo from Float Italia and Fabio. And actually, quite surprising to us, we managed to get 2 places at Race for the Rail for the top male and top female racer. So the terrain itself was very much a trail. It was rideable, but it was rideable as a chunky trail, which would be slower than I anticipated and quite challenging in places. Quite simply, if you went full send down it, you'd hit a big rock and you'd be coming off the board. Then we received some bad news from Chan just a few weeks before the event.
So this is before and after.
Now it went from a chunky technical course to a smooth and fast downhill speed course. So we immediately went to work building chicanes, ramps and obstacles to slow people the fuck down. On Saturday, the rain cleared for a few hours and everyone got a chance for a couple of hours of practice before each rider got 2 qualifying runs.
Float the Highlands. Way to go, Nadine. Well done, Nadine. Congratulations.
I love it. I love it. Out of nowhere, Nadine. She swerves.
Team, she swerves.
She swerves.
Gerard. Gerard. It's a one-match final. Float the Highlands 2023. And well done to every other competitor in today's event.
Congratulations, guys. Way to go.
So we started with this idea. We found a place and we put together a team of people who all had their own things they could bring to what we were trying to do. The most important thing is you, the community, because this One Wheel worldwide community is incredible. I've been involved with a lot of different sports in the past, organising, competing, instructing, but I've never come across anything quite like the One Wheel community. You guys are awesome, and none of this would have happened without you. If you've got an idea similar to the one we had, you can realise that. You just need the right people, the right location, and the support of this amazing community who will always help you out. So we're going to do it again next year, same location, 28th to 30th of June 2024. We're going to do it bigger, better, integrate things a bit more, have more of a party. It's going to be great. You need to come.
Amazing, great views, you can't ask for anything more.
I think the social ride's a massive amount of one-wheelers together, the most amount of one-wheelers we've ever seen together in the UK.